Hi guys, I am back with a question and answer video. So a couple of days ago, Torrid and I asked you guys to post your questions, whether it was about the model search, about me, about anything you wanted to know, and we got tons of questions, so here we go. I'm gonna start with the ones that you guys left on my post. I posted this little video. So the first one is from Dempstar. Hey girl. She says, gorgeous skin, what is your skincare routine? And this is funny because I don't have gorgeous skin. It's probably filter or really good makeup. My skin was flawless at one point and we are not in good terms right now. Long story short, I don't have perfect skin, but what I'm using right now and what I've noticed that has gotten me better, besides obviously tackling the problem, which is again a hormone imbalance and it comes from within. I've been getting lots of facials. I've been using lots of vitamin C products on my skin and oils to moisturize. So the next question comes from Peace Love Pandas, and it says, how much of a time commitment is this? Do you have to travel a lot? And did you have to move? I did not have to move. I still live in Jersey. I travel back and forth. This is a difficult question because each year they do something different. With me, I am shooting every single campaign and I'm also shooting e-commerce. So it depends on your contract that you have with them. It depends what they're offering you. Next year they might have more events. It just depends. But whenever they need me, I travel to them. Which is in California, and I live in Jersey, so I travel back and forth, and I travel maybe twice a month or something like that. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, depending again on what they're using you for. And it is a commitment. It's a full-time commitment. I feel that if it's something that you want, it's not really a commitment. It's just something that you're doing like a regular job, like it's your passion. When it's your passion, you commit 100%. This question is from Nitro Lamb, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of your admins. It says, how often are you required to be away from home? Again, based on that question, it depends on what Torrid wants you to do. The first year you're exclusive with them, so it depends on the events that they have planned. Christina Elise says, has your life totally changed since becoming a model for Torrid, and how so? My life has changed, I think, since the first day I stepped in front of the camera for the top 10. When we were selected as top 10, we were flown to California to do a test shoot and a runway show. And that moment when I stepped in front of that camera, it's like something went on in my body, like some fire I had building up and I wasn't using just ignited, and I knew right there and then that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to win Torrid, of course, but if it didn't happen, I wasn't going to give up because I knew right there and then that I was in the right place. So what is the hardest part of the process for you, or what was the hardest part of the process for you? For me, the hardest part of the process was definitely the waiting. Again, this started back in August. The auditions were, I went to the one in New York, so I think that was around July or June. I don't remember. I think it was in July. Then August, the auditions closed. Then you had to wait for your call back, and like each step was like maybe a few weeks or so in between, but it felt to me like months and months. And then when the voting and the social media was happening, even though for me, again, this whole process was amazing and fun, it's still something that you're like, okay, I want to win. I really want this. So like, what if I'm not doing enough? What if this? What if I'm not, what if people don't like me? All these different things are going through your mind. So it just, I guess the whole process and the waiting to know if you have won, if you are, if you can kind of move on from this project or not, that was probably the hardest part of the process. Mr. Eid says, when is the deadline for the model search end? So that you guys can go to www.torrid.com, and at the end of the page, all the way here, it says model search. And it has got questions, click here for facts. So those type of questions you guys can find out right there. Just because I'm not sure on deadlines and dates and things like that. It says what will... So August 13th, 2017 is the last day to apply online. So apply before then. And definitely go to the castings. I mean, they're so fun. What is your secret to looking amazing in all your clothes? Thank you for that. I wear a lot of black. That really helps. Black is a very flattering color. It just looks good on everyone, I think. And other than that, I don't know. I like to wear pieces that fit me how I feel good. So I think like once you discover your style, once you discover what you like to see yourself in, like some people put dresses on and they're like, oh my god, I love this dress, it looks amazing. Then they try another type of silhouette and they look great in that dress. Then they try another one and you know, they find that they look really good in dresses. Some people look really good in jeans, some people look really good in sweats. It just depends on what you like to wear and what you look in the mirror and be like, damn, I look great in this. So wear more of that. Other people can see that you're wearing that outfit with confidence. What is the weight they want for a plus size model? So with this question, it's just interesting because it's hard to tell, you know, by weight, what you look, what size you are. So don't go by that. Go by, you know, if you're a size 10 and up and you're 18 and older, you can apply to be, you know, a model search contestant. GL Galvin 93 says, does your husband get to travel with you when you go away? He can. He hasn't so far. I know Liana last year took her fiance with her in one or two trips. I'm not sure how many. He can if he wants to, but he is a business owner, so he stays back home working while I work. The next one is from Gabrielle's OOSU. So Gabrielle Sozu. She says, very beautiful, you look like Liv Tyler, love it. Thank you. Lauren Tobias says, what made you apply for the model search? By the way, you are gorgeous. Thank you. I always say it takes one to know one, so you must be gorgeous too. So when I applied for the model search, it was kind of like on a whim. One of my friends, co-workers actually, Monica, she said, oh, you should do this, you should do this. And I was like kind of like in the defense about it because I always thought I wanted to be in the industry. That's why I, you know, did makeup, because I wanted to, you know, involve myself somehow. I went to school for graphic design. I wanted to, you know, be a graphic designer. I wanted to work in the industry regardless. I just never thought I could be a model. And as far as the plus size term, everyone was like, you're not really plus size, but then I'm like, I shop in a plus size store, so then I am a plus size. And then, you know, I'm 5'8", 5'9", so like I'm not your average height for a model. So I was always like, no, I'm not. Basically, my thing was I'm not good enough, which is a lot of, unfortunately, it's a lot of, you know, us girls' thoughts in our heads, and we stop ourselves from doing a lot of things, unfortunately, and that's really bad. But she convinced me. She said, let's go. At the time, I was working 3 jobs, so I'm a very hard worker. She said, oh, just go with me, blah, blah, blah. Last minute, she drops out. She didn't want to go. I think it was just a plot to get me to go. And I went to the palace size one, which was the New York one in here in the East Coast. And it was super fun. I met some great girls that I still talk to. And here I am today. So honestly, I went on a whim and I really liked it. And like I said, until I stepped in the camera as a top 10, I didn't realize how much I wanted to be a model. Like I was like, okay, this made sense. And the fact that I get to inspire you guys, I mean, that's just amazing. By me putting myself out there the little way that I do, because I don't think I, you know, do too much. It's just amazing that I get to inspire you guys, and that brings me so much joy, and it feeds my soul in such a good way that I never thought, you know, I've always wanted to inspire people. I just never thought how, and I guess just by being myself I can, and that's amazing. Do you get to be an ongoing model for the company? And that depends on Torrid. At the end of this year, I think my contract is up with them for the first year. Hopefully, you guys will see more of me with Torrid It's something I definitely want. I just, it's up to them. Has it opened up other opportunities for you in the model industry? So I'm sure it has. I just don't know about them yet because, again, the year is exclusive, so I can't work with any other companies. What is the hardest part about this whole thing? The hardest part for me, I think actually I realized a few weeks ago, was I'm a very ambitious person, and I'm very I'm very hardworking, ambitious, and I'm very hard on myself. So I can't compare myself to people, the models I've worked with, for example. They've been doing it for 10 plus years. So now I am gonna go with my Snapchat question. I got one from Becky Nicole.
I don't know if you remember me or not, but I sent you a video on here saying hi when you were at one of the Torrid Mall events in California. But my Q&A question is, what is a good way to stand out from the other girls who apply to the Torrid Model Search?
I do remember you. You sent me one to the Torrid Snapchat, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Becky, I think the best way to stand out is just being yourself, genuinely being yourself. There's not that anyone else won't be themselves, but it's such a beautiful thing to see someone who is genuine and to see authenticality. It stands out by itself when you have someone who's radiant and beautiful from inside out. That will definitely stand out. And definitely remember to wear something cute, something fun, something that shows off your personality, your style, and remember to show off your curves because no one can do that better than you. Trisha Sweet Pea says, love the lacy shorts. I know, they're so freaking cute. I love them. And then, can you tell me the age preferences for the model search? Is there any limit? I think that is on, again, the facts and questions at torrid.com. And I believe you just have to be 18 years of age and older to enter. So, want those sandals. They are super comfortable. You guys have no idea. Torrid definitely stepped up their game with the shoes, so I'm excited for that. Dulce Chiquita 78 says, when a winner is picked, what is the first thing you do as a model? So the first thing I did as a winner was the Face of Torrid photo shoot, which is the picture that I'm looking over my shoulder. And it says, will you be appointed a makeup artist for the whole year or just one for the photo shoots? We do get campaign makeup artists, so each campaign has a different makeup artist, or they have the same one. That's whoever books the campaigns. They book the site, they book the photographer, they book all of that. For events, this year, thus far, I've done my own makeup for events, but I'm sure if there's something that they want, a specific look from me, then they'll book a makeup artist. Cute sandals, pretty feet. Like my feet? Because you are so magnificent. I am very hard on myself about my looks and body. It's easy for people who are gorgeous to say, learn to love yourself. Have you ever felt bad about yourself? To me, you are perfection. Oh, thank you. I am nowhere near being perfect. There's no such a thing as perfection when it comes to human beings. We are flawed by nature, and those flaws are what makes us beautiful. That's what I think. I'm very hard on myself too, not necessarily about my looks. I think I'm just very hard on myself on everything, so I can definitely relate to you pushing yourself that way. Looks are not the most important thing. Looks will fade. That's something my mom used to tell me. In other words, feed your brain, feed your soul. It is easy, I guess, for people who are gorgeous to say that, but I feel like people who are gorgeous, you find them gorgeous because they have found that inner confidence. They have found that beauty within themselves to push it, you know, to promote it or to push it on the outside. And that's why you're like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. It's hard to say what to do. For me, I just, you know, honestly, I try to focus on the good things. If I'm really, really sad, I watch videos of baby laughing. I don't know why, that makes me really happy. It's just, you have to find something in your life, something within you that is strong enough or that will give you enough, you know, happiness or enough positive feeling in your life to bring you back up again. So my camera died. I had to go charge, but we back. So Cameo Kate says, I love the plus size industry is ever changing and evolving. What is your take on size inclusion and body inclusion? I love that too, and I love the fact that we're seeing more of what people want to see. I think the typical story is that growing up you never saw somebody who looks like you, and there's still a lot more improvement or a lot more inclusion that needs to happen. But what's my take on it? I am all for it. I think that the more brands expand and the more brands include more of size diversity, it's gonna get better. So I'm excited for that. I love that Torrid has extended their sizes from 10 to 30. Wow. My personal size is in the middle of that. I love to see more women in print ads, online, etc., that are more on that range. Do you think this is being done enough? So that was a two-part question and I kind of split it. No, I don't think it's being done enough, or I don't think a lot of companies are doing it. I want to see Victoria's Secret do a plus size runway show, and I want to walk that Victoria's Secret plus size fashion show. I'm putting it out there. So but I love Torrid lingerie, so maybe Torrid should do a lingerie fashion show. She also adds, what advice would you give any applicant that feels the scourge about applying again after going through the model search a few times already? Don't be discouraged. If it's something that you want, you're going to find a way, and you're going to find the strength to keep doing it. What does Torrid look for in a model? Do you need experience? No, they actually want someone who doesn't have experience. But again, all those questions can be answered in the facts at torrid.com. And Maria, my question is, do you need to live in California in order to fulfill your 1-year modeling contract? No, you don't. I still live in Jersey. And Marce0627 says, where are you from? When you speak Spanish, I can kind of guess. Are you Colombian? I am not Colombian. My husband is Colombian. My best friends are Colombian, so maybe that's why I picked up a little bit of an accent. I am from Uruguay. It's a little small country in South America with really big heart, so that's where I'm from. Elena asks, so how's it going? Is this fun? What are your shoots like, and have you moved out to California? I have not moved out to California. I don't think I will, even though I would love to. How's it going? It's going amazing. I am having so much fun, and I'm learning so much about me, about the industry, so I can't wait to keep working and to work with new people next year, hopefully. You applied, what kind of things did you say on your video? I don't remember exactly what I said. I just remember that there was some questions that you had to answer, which I did, and then I just kind of talked about my message, which has always been, you know, having a platform to redefine beauty and promoting that confidence and beauty comes from within. And if you're a student, would you have enough time to do classes online? I think you do. I know some of the models that are not necessarily signed with Torrid, they're just models that we use for campaigns, are students themselves. So I think there's a way you can always do it. And then Most Nicole says, first, I want to say that you're absolutely stunning. What was the process like? What is the first thing you did as a Torrid model? Did you have to make any physical changes? So the process, you guys know by now, submitted my application, went to the live casting. We got called back for a second interview after that, top 10 flew to Cali. We did a fashion show and a fashion show and a photo shoot. Then they picked the top 4, online voting, and here we are. So I don't know, this year it seems like they're doing the same things, just different time frames. First thing I did as a model search when it was the photo shoot that you guys saw as the face of Torrid. And did I make any physical changes other than cutting my hair? Eva Hasty asks, what is your current workout schedule routine? I have a trainer, so when I'm here home, I work out with him 5 times a week for an hour, and we do HIIT cardio, like intervals, and then we do weights. So I'm not trying to lose weight, I'm just trying to tone my body. So I want to be raw. I sent my application already, but I wish I could do it because my video sucked. Brittany, your video did not suck. It is perfect the way it is. And how did you find confidence in your own skin? So my struggle with confidence is funny because when I was little, I was doing gymnastics, sports, so I never really paid attention to body or anything like that. I remember in gymnastics, I was the tallest one and the thickest girl in gymnastics, and I had boobs at a very young age, and all these other girls were 12 years old and they were probably like 7 or so, and they had nothing. I never paid attention to that. I just paid attention to how, my turns were, how my jumps were, how my landing was. It wasn't really until I hit puberty and I discovered that there were a thing called boys. And I was comparing myself to other girls. So that's when my confidence took a toll. My motto is to not compare myself to anyone, to focus on myself, and to become the best I can be every single day. So I don't always have that confidence, and I don't think I always had it. So it's an up and down thing. It's in my mind. It's something I preach. It is something I believe in. So therefore, I feel like I have to act it, and I have to apply everything I tell you guys to myself in order for me to really be an example and to really inspire you guys, which is what I like to do. What advice would you give anyone if they want to be a model but they can't really walk in heels or real big on makeup? Hashtag asking for a friend. As far as the heel part, you kind of learn to move as you go. When I first started, what I thought that they were looking for, the poses, or what I thought a photographer was looking for in a photo shoot, had nothing to do with what they were asking. So you kind of learn as you go, so don't worry about that. And that whoever's not big on makeup, I think it's better. I think right now it's really on trend, the less is more, natural beauty and all these things. So don't let anything that you're not into shy you away from doing something. At the end of the day, you have to put in perspective if doing something is something that you want. So like if becoming a model, doing the Torrid Model Search is something you want, and you do your pros and cons list and the pros is more, just go for it. Really stop shying away from things because you don't think you might like it. What was your confidence level going in? Did you think that you had it in the bag, or were you nervous? And did the jitters go away once you auditioned? As soon as I walked in the casting, I saw these beautiful girls, and I said to myself, 1, what am I doing here? 2, why have any of these girls, why aren't these girls already published models? Why don't I see them already in Vogue? There were so many beautiful girls that I was like, you need to be in a billboard in Times Square. What's going on? And the more I got into it, the more I was like, oh my god, what am I doing here? I'm not big enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not tall enough. I'm to this, I'm to that. Everything just came into my mind. But as I got into the line, I started listening to what the other girls were saying. Someone had issues with their shoes. another one was like, I don't feel my outfit. So I realized that all of us in that moment, we were there for one common thing, and it was to empower other women to love themselves, and we were loving ourselves in that moment. And so that self-love and that whole environment just kind of took over me, and Torrid did a really good job in allowing everyone to be themselves, or giving them a space to feel confident to be themselves. So I just had so much fun, and so after that I was like, I got this, in the sense of I'm gonna be myself. And at that moment I thought to myself that I'd rather not get a second call and be myself than have them call me on a pretense personality, or whatever the case is. Is being a model everything you thought it would be, more or less? It is definitely more. I always thought, obviously, even though I admire the industry and I wanted to be in the industry, I never thought that models had so much say. I feel like today with social media and everything that's going on in the world, especially in the plus size industry, I feel like you are much more than just a model. You're just much more than a canvas that they put clothes on and take pictures. So I feel like today the modeling industry is so much more than I ever expected, and I'm really excited and looking forward to continue to be part of it. When meeting these women, what is something that would make me or anyone really stand out? I think I answered that before, but again, just being yourself. When you are really, again, your genuine self, that really shines through, and there's no pretense, and people can see through you when you're pretending to be something you're not. So just stick to yourself. Yourself is so much better than anyone else. You're really beautiful. Have you always wanted to model? So when I was little, I wanted to be a vet. Then I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be the president of the world. So with that being said, never in my mind crossed that I could be a model, just because I never saw someone that looked like me. I always saw tall, blonde, really light skinned, and even the models that were exotic or that look Latinas were very curvaceous and were very like lingerie-ish models and all that stuff. They never looked like me. They never had a roll. They never had cellulites. They never had stretch marks. I always understood that there was a thing called Photoshop when I was little, and I discovered internet and I discovered cameras and graphic design and all of this. So I knew that none of the pictures I was looking at were real. But even then, when you saw them in videos and cameras in person, they were stunning, beautiful women, and I was like, I'm not like that. My eyes are too dark, or whatever the case is. So no, I never thought I could model, but I wanted to be in the industry. Just never thought as a model, and now that I get to do it as the face of a company like Torrid, it's beyond me. I still sometimes can't fathom the idea. Do you get to keep your clothes that you model? No, I don't get to keep the clothes that we model. When we shoot campaigns, we shoot sample sizes, and they have to ship it back. But as a model, you can always ask, hey, I love this, can I get it? And they might send it to you. That just depends on the company and who you work with. As part of my price, I get a wardrobe as the Torrid Model Search winner, so I kind of have all the clothes I want. And where can you apply? You can go to torrid.com. At the bottom, when you scroll, there's a little pink size that says Model Search, and you could click on that and apply. Can employees at Torrid apply? Unfortunately, no, they can't. I wish they could, but they can't. And has your life changed since the winning? I already answered that. My life has changed completely. I am the happiest I could ever be. I have no reason not to be happy. Just because I'm doing what I love, and in doing so I'm inspiring you guys, and that brings me so much joy, and it feeds my soul in levels I never expected it would. I have so much more to do. This is just the beginning for me, and I'm really excited and happy that I get to do it with a company like Torrid. So I want to thank all of you guys for putting me there, all of you guys who voted for me, all of you guys who participated in a question and answer, and I'm always here for you. I am just a regular girl, so definitely hit me up if you have any more questions. I read your comments, I read your emails. Remember that you can inspire someone by just smiling and just being happy. And that's it. Just remember to be yourself, be happy, love yourself, and remember that you have this one life to live, so live it out the best way you can every single day.